Okay, let's just get right to it. We're going to tackle the one question about AI that's on everybody's mind. Will it take my job? You know, it's personal, it's definitely a little scary, and today we're going to get to the bottom of it. So where does this feeling even come from?
I mean, for years, this whole thing felt like science fiction, right? We've all heard the stories about robots and automation, but it was always something in some far-off, distant future. Well, with tools like ChatGPT literally at our fingertips, that abstract future, it suddenly feels very, very real. It's not a question of if things are going to change anymore, it's how, and how soon.
And that, of course, brings us to the fear. I mean, let's be real for a second. The headlines are everywhere. AI is writing articles, it's designing websites, it's even writing some pretty complex code. It's so easy to look at all that and just feel like the skills you've spent years building are, well, becoming obsolete right before your very eyes.
And look, this isn't just hype. We're already seeing AI make a real impact in a bunch of fields. Think about it. In marketing, it's cranking out ad copy. In customer service, you've got chatbots handling all the basic inquiries. AI is sifting through mountains of data and spitting out first drafts for articles and web designs. And yeah, it's the automation of those kinds of repetitive tasks that's really driving a lot of this anxiety.
And it really all boils down to one pretty stark economic question, doesn't it? If a machine can do it faster, cheaper, and without a coffee break, why would a company need you? You know, that way of thinking, it frames our work as a direct competition, us versus the machine. And that's a competition that feels, frankly, impossible to win. But is that really the right way to look at this? Well, what if we've been asking the wrong question this whole time? Because the conversation is really starting to shift away from replacement and toward a much more interesting and I think more accurate idea, augmentation. And understanding this one little difference, well, it changes absolutely everything. So let's dive into what that actually means.
Okay, so let's put these two ideas side by side. On one hand, you have replacement. That's the fear, right? You're in direct competition with AI and your role could become obsolete. But on the other hand, you have augmentation. And this suggests something completely different. It suggests that the boring tasks are what disappear. You're not obsolete, you're freed up. You're not competing with AI, you're collaborating with it.
So when we say augmentation, what we really mean is just using AI as a tool to make you, better and faster at your job. So forget this idea of a robot competitor sitting at the desk next to you. Instead, just picture a super-powered assistant, one that can handle all the tedious, boring parts of your work, leaving you to focus on the really important stuff. Let's make this super concrete. Think of it this way. Instead of you staring at a blank page for an hour, an AI can generate a solid first draft in literally seconds. Instead of a long, grueling brainstorming session, boom, it can give you hundreds of creative ideas instantly. See? It automates the repetitive stuff, freeing you up for what really requires a human mind, strategy, leadership, an actual human connection. Okay, so if we're going to collaborate with AI, what skills do we actually need to focus on? The game isn't about trying to outwork the machine. That's a losing battle. It's about learning to work with it. And that brings us to the most important part, the new essential human skills for this era.
Your new professional toolkit, it really boils down to three big things. First, you've got to master what's called prompt engineering. Second, you need to lean into the things humans are just plain better at, creativity and critical thinking. And third, you have to double down on emotional intelligence. Let's break each one down.
Now, prompt engineering sounds super technical, I know, but it's actually pretty simple. It's just the art and science of asking the AI the right questions. It's all about learning how to give it clear, effective commands so you get the exact results you want. Think of it as the new fundamental language for working with these tools. All right, next up, creativity and critical thinking. Look, an AI is an incredible tool for execution. It's a beast. But it can't truly innovate. It can't solve those messy, complex, abstract problems that don't have a neat and tidy data set. For that, it needs a human guide. Someone to provide the vision, the strategy, the critical judgment. And that's where we'll always have the edge. And finally, emotional intelligence. Honestly, this might just be the most important skill of all. The ability to really empathize with a client, to collaborate with your team, to lead a project, to understand all those subtle human needs, that is something AI simply cannot replicate. In a world with more and more automation, our humanity, that becomes our most valuable professional asset, for sure. So where does all this leave us? On one side, we've got the fear of replacement, and on the other, we have this incredible promise of augmentation. So which one is it going to be? A threat or a huge opportunity? Ultimately, the way we see it, AI isn't really a threat to your job, so much as it's an invitation from the future to redefine it. The future belongs to the people who don't work against AI, but who become experts at working with it. So, we're curious. How do you see it? Is this a threat or an opportunity for you? Comment below. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to AI Future Trends to stay ahead of the future.